The Illabuck is loaded up on the bus and heading back to Columbus, Ohio State, still undefeated. Another win in the bank after coming on the road right here to Memorial Stadium, Champaign, Illinois, and beating the Illini 34-16. Comfortable win for the Buckeyes. Welcome to Snap Judgments. He's Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward. Nothing wrong with that, is there, Birm?
Sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, look, we're all adults here, okay? This was not a good football game Ohio State played. They played good in spurts. They played good at moments. They got up a big 20-0 and 20-3 at half and got another goal line stand at the end of the half. And then Ryan Day forcing the issue, calling timeouts, get the ball back, and then they throw 3 balls inside of 3 yards. And you're like, what is the point of that? And then you punt it and you hit it for 40 yards and you're like, oh God, 34 yards, I apologize, not even 40. Then you're like, okay, now we're going to give up a field goal at the end of the half. And then you didn't, but then Illinois scores in the first drive and it's 20-10 and the Buckeyes get the ball and they just dink and dunk down the field and score. And you're like, great, 27-10, no problem. And then the Buckeyes stopped trying.
Ryan Day did say they took their foot off the gas and they lost their focus.
And that is, I mean, it's easier to say this after a win, a 18-point win on the road at a number 17 ranked team in the country. That can't happen. This team, if it wants to reach its goals, can't allow that to happen. Now, that said, that doesn't mean this is a throw-it-away game or anything like that. But when you have multiple delay of games on punts, one time because you had 10 guys on the field, including the end of the first half where you like tried to get the ball back.
Yeah.
These are just little things. You're like the taking the foot off the pedal and the lack of focus was not a second half, fourth quarter issue. Now, kudos to Ryan Day for trying to like bring it back, and we're going to talk about a lot of things on Snap Judgments here today. But I'm a little keyed up because it was Ryan Day with about 3 minutes to go in the game. Ohio State gets the ball after Illinois' second touchdown, and the Buckeyes, all they need to do is get a first down, and the game's over. And instead, they run the ball 3 times for just nothing. Then
with a fourth string running back, and then you get the defense coming back out onto the field after another 35-yard punt, and the fourth string defensive line is out there, and Ryan Day was like, nope, that ain't going to cut it. So they got to the 2-minute warning, and the rest of the starters, they all had their helmets off. I saw Mickey Marotti and a couple of the defensive coaches saying, nope, out here. And then you see Arvell Reese go back out in the game, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, the starters all go back out.
That was Ryan Day's call. Ryan Day did not appreciate what was happening and told Caden Curry, Caden McDonald, Arvell Reese, Caleb, get your helmets and get back on the field. And then guess what? Illinois didn't do anything. So the game's over. But it is I told you as you came down onto the field with about 5 minutes to go in the game, like, I feel like this is a game Ohio State could have won 50-3, but I feel like this is a game Ohio State could have lost 21-20.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know that that's wrong on either count. Now, the good things, Ohio State forced turnovers. They forced turnovers. This was not like Illinois just giving the ball to Ohio State or Jake Browning making throws in the NFL. Like this is a tip ball. This was a strip sack. This was a Caden McDonald just ripping the ball away from the running back. Like this was Ohio State.
Calling that a strip, like that's not strong enough of a word for Caden McDonald.
That was a mine. He's just taking it. It was like taking candy from a baby. Caden McDonald post-game said, well, I'm a lot bigger than the running back, so I can take it pretty easily. I'm like, oh, you should just do that all the time.
Maybe just do that all the time.
Yeah. But, there were good things Ohio State did, and I don't mean to be so negative off the rip here, but the Buckeyes forced Illinois to make some mistakes. Dropping to a knee, catching a snap on a punt, just little things like that. Illinois, at the end of the first half, third down and goal from the 1-yard line, false start. You're like, okay, the Buckeyes are causing that because the pressure that they exert on their opponents puts them in positions where they feel like they have to do more than necessary. But Ohio State was outgained. The Buckeyes had 275 yards of offense, just ugly. The Buckeyes had the ball, I think, for 7 more minutes than Illinois, yet were outgained and had like 8 less plays than Illinois. Like these are the things where I know it's intentional. I know the Buckeyes are trying to be conservative and trying to, not be hurry all the time. But you play like this, and this is ultimately where I'm at. Like, if you play like this at the end of November in Ann Arbor, you are going to lose. And I don't feel any sort of way other than that. Like, that was not good enough to beat a good team, and Illinois is a good team, but a team that has comparable talent. That is not good enough. And I know Ohio State will respond, but that is what it is.
I think that because I knew that this was going to be
a strange tone for snap judgments. And it, to be fair, like, it was kind of a strange game for Ohio State. Like, they were so dominant going into halftime. It was like, well, they're not going to, another half where they didn't give up a touchdown. How are they ever going to give up a touchdown? Everything is going in the right direction for them. And I think that this is the first time where it felt to me, and maybe they will argue, Ryan Day said that he thought they came out with really good energy. I thought they got out there in the second half and like, this game is over, and they were not the desperate and hungry version of Ohio State. But at the same time, I want to kind of be like, I get it. I understand. They were never going to lose this game. And if that is the worst that they can play, because I know what you're saying, and I don't entirely disagree with it, but Michigan is going to have much more of their attention than Illinois.
The irritation is when you decide we're just going to go score on this drive, then they do every time. And so it's like,
I just think, and I'm not saying it to argue or say that you can justify this performance in any way, but you and I have been doing this a long time, and you can see a team lose its focus and then lose a game.
Yeah,
and
that's the part of this whole thing that drives me crazy, is that the focus gets lost and they can easily just turn it back on, and then you turn it back on and it's all of a sudden 34-10.
Yeah,
and then you're like, oh, we'll turn it off again, and that is where like, well, that's a concern. If I'm down the road now, here we are, it's game 6. The Buckeyes are halfway through the season. They haven't had any semblance or any hint of that sort of issue earlier in the year. Yeah. I don't think it will be a continued issue, but I think when you're replacing some key players today, you're trying to move some parts around, there's going to be, and we're, I don't know, eight minutes into this, Illinois did a hell of a job. Like, Luke Altmaier is a really good quarterback. Now, obviously, they put the ball on the turf. That'll cost you a game against a good team like Ohio State. But like Illinois' game plan, they had a plan to keep Ohio State's defense on the field and keep them from being able to adjust. They were up tempo. They were getting the ball off quickly. Like, they did a really nice job. And defensively, I thought they did a really good job keeping Julian Sayin confused with their coverages. And like, Illinois deserves a lot of credit. But Ryan Day says it all the time. It's Ohio State versus Ohio State. And today, Ohio State was not anywhere near the best version. And I'm talking to people on the field before the half, and it's like, this is why Ohio State probably pisses everyone off nationally. Because here they are on the road against the number 17 team in the country, kind of playing like meh. And they're up 20-0 in the first half against the number 17 team in the country on the road. And you're like, well, this is Julian Sayin's clunker game. And you're like, well, it's still it's fine.
Yeah,
and it is fine. Like, in the big picture of life, it's fine.
And I think that perspective to zoom out is important to keep in mind. Like, if you are able to survive one of these games where you don't have your best effort in all 3 games, it's certainly within the realm of conversation to point out the areas that still need to be improved. There are things about this team that are lingering and that probably need to be addressed in a little bit different way. The red zone and short yardage and consistency of the rushing attack, I don't feel like that is, maybe Ryan Day's trying to paint a more optimistic picture and not be overly negative himself, but there's no way that I believe that he's satisfied with where that is right now. We saw them try a couple different options and get creative down here in the red zone to start the game, and even those looks didn't quite work for them. So I think that they're searching, and that's something that can get better. I kind of thought today that it's even possible to nitpick the defense. I didn't think that the pass rush was as potent as it had been.
They seemed to be disinterested in doing it until they decided they had to. And then that's the thing. Like, end of the first half, it's like, well, okay, we don't want them to score again before the half. Let's just blitz the quarterback this time. And then they got him. Second to last drive of the game, they're like, well, let's just send Arvell. Let's just go get him.
Yeah, just go get
fine.
Him. Yeah.
And like, they can do it at any moment. And that's where I'm like, I know this coaching staff is trying to pull different levers and trying to get different stuff. And Ryan Day is focused on a lot of the granular stuff, and he should be. But when you're in a game like this, you are looking at yourself and going, how does this translate for the big picture of the season? And that's where I think it's fair to be critical and say, well, this was not what you expect out of the number 1 team in the country. 275 yards is not enough. Like, it's not. This was a 18-point win on the road against the number 17 team in the country that was Ohio State's worst offensive game of the year, their worst defensive game of the year, and 2 special teams delay of games on punts that you're like, how is that possible? One of them because they had 10 guys on the field. Like, this was I said it before the game.
when they were walking in. I was like, I don't love the energy in here today. And it felt that way all day to me. You have 4 tight ends you're playing all the time inside of the 10-yard line. Cool. Like, there has to be more plays than that, right?
Yeah.
There's got to be other things you can do.
I think we've probably got a large enough sample size at this point to say this running straight ahead with Nate Roberts as the fullback and CJ Donaldson in the backfield is not the best version of Ohio State's red zone offense. Again, we can take that. That's a thing that has lingered for 6 games. You can spot a trend there. And why I'm trying to balance you out with the big picture today is like there isn't a 6-game sample of lethargic play or inattention or lack of focus. There's like one half of one game. And so I don't expect that to linger. And in fact, it's going to do is make Ryan Day even more intense on the flight home and on Tuesday when we get back in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center for his press conference and for the first practice of the week to get ready for Wisconsin, because he's got an opportunity. Like, there'll be plenty that can get his attention. I'm not suggesting that this was by any stretch of the imagination a flawless performance. There's lots of things that Ohio State could improve on, but we've also seen them make dramatic improvements over the first 6 games. And when you're dealing with college rosters and college age kids and 18 to 21, you're gonna have stretches where you lose focus. It is how you're able to manage that, get through that, mitigate it. And also they were dealing with like some different curveballs that they weren't anticipating with Lorenzo Styles out and Jermaine. Like, we haven't even talked about the players who did make the most of this opportunity at Memorial Stadium. And Jermaine Matthews was awesome.
Jermaine Matthews was great. Tywan Malone played a great game. Sonny Styles continues to be just awesome. I thought Davison Igbinosun, I'm sorry, I don't think that was pass interference in the first quarter. I don't care. It looked like the receiver was pulling him down to the ground. That's how I felt. Am I a homer? Maybe. Screw you guys. I don't care. But the point is, when you have this much talent, like you have enough to play a bad game and win.
Yeah.
But you also have to start to go, okay, Illinois has given up the most passing yards in the Big Ten. Ohio State had 150 passing yards and did not look in any way, shape, or form like they were interested in pushing the ball down the field. And if Illinois, Jeremiah Smith, the best player in America, has been this season, and it was shown again today on the play that he had down the sideline. Now, that's a ball I think Jeremiah catches last year, if I'm just calling it out. Like, I think that he's been a little not lackadaisical at the catch point on these jump balls and stuff like that. Like, it's a tough play. You got 2 players there. Like, I'm not trying to nitpick everything, but
you've been down there on the bit. Did you get any look at Jeremiah's hand?
My guy is pissed off about a lot of things. He is in a bad mood.
Okay. Well, Television's Adam King told me to take a look at what's going on with the hand, that maybe Jeremiah wasn't at full strength.
I haven't seen that. So if there's something that is, please reveal it to America.
He's right there.
No, you tell it. I'm not going to ask him to talk.
Oh, okay.
Once he starts talking,
I don't know.
He
he just said, just take a look at it. But the back was much more of a concern.
Well,
that's a play that, again, when we were talking about lack of focus, you're not thinking Max Clare had been blocking very well, and you certainly don't expect Austin Saraville to miss anything. Whether miscommunication, lack of focus, whatever you want to call it, was certainly a missed assignment, and it nearly got Jeremiah Smith killed.
Yeah.
And you can't have that stuff.
I would like to see, and I know that there is a desire for playing a lot of players and moving a lot of stuff around and all the rotation. It is clear to me that Bo Jackson is the best running back on this team. I think America is on board with that. Like, no one is doubting it. Why is there so many other carries for other backs at this point? Why is every time Bo Jackson gets the ball, the Buckeyes down inside of the 20, he's coming off the field? Like, these are the things I'm like, I don't understand. Like, just let the guys who are getting you there, like, dance with who brought you. You know what I mean? That's what
Did you just come up with that?
Yeah, I just thought of that. And I just feel like, there's a lot of rotation. Again, all the usage of the tight ends. It's great. Like, it's a great selling point for recruits. But if it's not actually if it's not actually working on the field, then why are you doing it as much as you're doing it? And this is not the place or the time to, like, work on stuff. Like, that's what you go to practice for.
You don't go on the road in the Big Ten against a 17th ranked opponent hoping to just experiment?
Right, and that's fine. Like, you're good enough to do it most of the time. But when you get
they were today.
Yeah, that's the irritating part. They're so good that they can be bad and still win by 18 points against the number 17 team in the country. So, like, here I sit. I'm a Buckeye fan, everyone. I don't pretend to not be, okay? Like, when you watch this talent level,
and they underperform and they under-execute and they look disinterested. And
well, execution fuels emotion.
that's what I've heard. So like, I think that there's just I think this is going to be a wake-up call for Ohio State, so I want to get on board and say that. Like, I think this is a reminder, and I fear for what they're going to do to look fickle next week, because I don't think Ryan Day did it. It's funny. Here, I just bounced around, and I'm sorry, but I've never seen Ryan Day more pissed off on the sideline for an entire 60-minute game than he was in this one. He was yelling at people all day, officials all day. He was not happy about a lot of things, and then he gets to the podium, and he's like, it's pretty good. Not bad. Last week, they win 42-3 and play a nearly flawless football game. And he's like, damn it. Bo Jackson extended the football. Lincoln Keynotes went to the wrong. So, like, I'm trying to, I think this is a carrot and stick situation for Ryan Day. And I believe that today he's trying to publicly give a carrot to say, we got through it. Let's move on. And again, we've ad nauseum talked about how this is a professional outfit and they don't care if they win by 1 point. Ryan Day doesn't care. He cares during the game a whole lot. After the game, he's going to like, okay, cool, whatever. We won. Now let's grow through it. But I don't know. I felt today, I thought Julian Sayin was probably the least crisp he's been all season.
Yeah.
The run game, Bo Jackson and CJ Johnson had just about 5 yards of carry in the first half, and both of them finished under 4 yards. The running game in general finished under 3 yards of carry. Like it's just not good enough. And there's going to be this. I would like to be a fly on the wall in the Woody this week, because I don't believe that Ryan Day's general tenor in the post-game press conference reflects what he's actually thinking about this performance.
Yeah, probably not. But at the same time, I don't think you can be as maniacal as he was after the Minnesota game every single week. No. I think people would tune that out, and I think that's the art of this NFL style approach, that he's got to be able to change gears. And that's not to say that he's going to be, forget about some of the inconsistency or the problems that happened today and just be like, that's fine, they won. I know that he is a perfectionist, and he's going to take that stuff to the practice field and emphasize it to get better for Wisconsin. But, there's something to be, you have to evolve. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Adam, get us that.
Bring that up. Bring that over here, Adam.
We just made his day. What is it?
Okay. We're gonna have a special guest.
I hope
on Snap Judgments.
This entire, and again, I don't want to be so critical that I'm.
This is going to cheer you
up.
That
I'm coming off like whiny, but like I just have really high expectations for this team. I have really high expectations for this team, and I want Ohio State.
Look, they won a wooden turtle today, okay?
And they're gonna emblazon it with a 34-16, 20-25 on here, and it's awesome. And this is why, the funny thing is, after the game, Ryan Day came up to his post-game press conference and said, "Well, we had to basically remind the guys that they won."
Uh-huh.
But then you see them at the end of the game holding this, and Jeremiah Smith being excited and walking around holding the turtle. It's a tortoise, apparently, because it's got claws. So, like, it smells delightful.
It's amazing.
Now, this thing's been
it's been freshly lacquered.
This has got some fresh oil on it. Like, this is a reminder that, like...
I said it was loaded up on the bus to start Snap Judgments. That was a lie. He's here.
This is still college football, and it's still why people do it. And that doesn't mean Ohio State is unhappy with the win. Doesn't mean I'm unhappy with the win. If we're being honest, I'm the exact opposite of Ryan Day in this circumstance. Like, I'm going to be happier in 2 days. I'm going to be like, you know what? It's actually fine.
Okay.
But it's over. And this show is over. And we're going to talk about a lot of things. We have to get back to Ohio.
Look at the
detail.
Here. All right. Illabuck must go. Thank you very much for joining us, Illabuck. And it's going home to Columbus. Thank you for letting us borrow the Illabuck for 2 seconds as Ohio State clinched it with a 34-16 win over Illinois. A rivalry trophy going back in the case in the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
I promise I'll be less whiny on Monday. Promise. Promise.
Okay.
100%.
We're going to hold you to that. You told America that you're going to be in a good mood when we get back to Columbus, when we get back to the live show at Roosters, brought to you by Tansky Power Sports and Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems. A full week of coverage as we get ready for Ohio State's next road trip. Back-to-back Big Ten bangers the next week at Wisconsin. That will be 3:30 on CBS. This was a big noon kickoff, and it was another win for the unbeaten top-ranked Buckeyes as they will get out of Memorial Stadium with that record still perfect. He is Jeremy Birmingham. He's going to be in a good mood on Monday.
Promise.
I am Austin Ward. These have been Snap Judgments. Thanks to everyone who tuned in all week to get ready for the game here. Whether you're following on 97.1 The Fan, 10 TV Plus, anywhere you get podcasts, we sincerely appreciate you. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stick around for the notebook. That'll be coming later. We have a smorgasbord of interviews with Buckeyes and coaches on that one. You will not want to miss it. For Burn, I'm Austin. We'll see you later.